Hey, what's up everybody? It's me, YemmytheFerret here with another episode of YemmyCast, a video game podcast on Spotify, SoundCloud, and Apple Podcasts. And of course, YouTube. How is everyone doing today? I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing great. I hope your week is just the most fantastic week you've ever had. If it's not, I apologize. I do hope it gets better. But hey, welcome. Thank you for coming to this episode. If you're here for the premiere of this episode on YouTube at 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, thank you so much. How are you guys doing? If you're listening to this episode on all the other platforms or a replay of the episode, I appreciate you nonetheless. And I thank you for joining me in this experience. We got a good amount of news this week. Not very important news, I would say, for most of these. Lots of updates today, maybe a few new game reveals, stuff like that. For the most part, it's a little bit of a slow week, but it was actually a pretty interesting week. Especially, I believe it was last Sunday, I was playing Modern Warfare with the one and only Depraved Slasher, and I got a tweet. Someone added me. You know, a little @ symbol. They added me. I know that's a weird word to say. I should say mention me. Someone mentioned me in a tweet, and they sent it to me. And it's funny, because this one tweet has, opened my mind. It reminded me of some time ago, when there was one man to go to for your video game news and announcements. It was a guy who barbecued an Xbox 360 and smashed a PlayStation 3. It's a guy who comes with the big news and the sad news. That's right. I got mentioned by ChampChong on Twitter, which is really crazy to me, because this is the second, person who I watched back in the day who has actually mentioned, actually interacted with me on Twitter. The first one was Wicked Shrapnel, of course, because I did a Fubar Ferret episode talking about him and everything that he did for me as a creator on YouTube. And now look at this, ChampChong. I mentioned him in the description of a video a podcast not too long ago. It's in November. It's the end of November, and I did the sad news thing. That's his little. He used to do that a lot. I don't know if he still does that. But I referenced that, as I sometimes do. You guys know I sometimes do that. You guys may have also heard me saying big news, which is also something that that would happen as well. So I think he must have been doing a search for his name or something like that on YouTube, and that was one of the first things that came up as the most recent thing the day he was searching it. And that's actually pretty cool that he came out of the woodwork and sent me a message on Twitter. That was really the only interaction, though. He liked my reply to him, and that was it. But still, it's I haven't thought about ChampChong in a while. I say his random, things that are stuck in my head, but I never, went to go look at his channel again or his Twitter again since I moved over to this channel. My old channel, I think I'm still subscribed to him. This one, I did not subscribe again. Nothing against him, I just forgot. I think he left YouTube for a little bit, and then he came back. I don't remember exactly, though. But I do remember a lot of what I watched when I was younger. He's the guy who you would go to for video game stuff. I wouldn't say that he inspired this podcast, but he was definitely someone that I watched a lot when I was in high school and in middle school. When he was the only guy who I knew who was a real dude in front of a camera. He was funny. He had this gorilla that came up to him and gave him questions or something like that, one question a day or something like that, or an episode. It was funny. And yeah, I do believe it was a Xbox 360 that he barbecued. I'm pretty sure. I can't remember exactly, though. It's a little blurry. It's a little fuzzy. But yeah, what's the tweet, Yemmy? Tell us a tweet. Okay, the tweet was @YemmytheFerret, which is my Twitter handle. Did you actually talk about me in your podcast on the 27th of November, or did you just mention me in the description? LMAO. And at first, when I looked at this, I didn't recognize who he was. I was like, who is this guy? Because he didn't look his profile picture didn't look like I remembered him. And as I looked at it for a little bit longer, I'm like, oh, at ChampChong? Okay, this is crazy. Immediately screenshot it, send it to my friend Nick, who is also a fan of ChampChong, or was a fan of ChampChong. And he was like, that's insane. It doesn't seem like, it doesn't seem like he actually listened to the podcast, but it's fun that he mentioned me and we had a tiny interaction. A little interaction goes a long way. Just think, if he followed me one day and was like, hey, want to do a news collab? I'd be like, oh, hell yeah. I'd jump on that in a second. That would be so amazing to have him on and talk to him. But of course, I don't think that will ever happen, of course. But yeah, I just replied saying, I think it was a reference to your sad news bit, and then I went back and checked, and I was like, yep, at 1704, I did the sad news, which is why I mentioned him in the description, because I was like, I think I said something along the lines of, what happened to ChampChong anyways? Well, whatever. You're listening, right now you're listening to, YemmyCast. Just a cool little experience. I thought I'd let you guys know, because, you all care. But it's something cool for me because it brings back a wealth of memories of watching him when I was younger and stuff like that. And like I said, I wouldn't credit him for inspiring me to do a video game podcast like this where I do go over the news. But he's a cool dude, and I appreciate his content. He still makes content, so if you want to, you can check him out on YouTube and Twitter. Just ChampChong. I believe he still does a lot of news kind of things. I think one of his latest videos, I watched it I think yesterday I watched it. He was like comparing the Xbox Series X and the PS5 or something like that. So he still makes content, still gets a relatively good amount of views. And this is my olive branch. If you ever want to do a collaboration, I'm always down for it. And see, a lot of people would be like, oh, you're just using him to get subscribers, you stupid noob. It's like, I really don't care about that. I really just care about having someone cool on the podcast who I used to watch a lot in the past. Like, I've extended this olive branch to Wicked Shrapnel. Now, of course, I don't think either of them are going to accept that, and beyond. Like, I don't even care if he's on this podcast, YemmytheFerret, any of them. Film Freaks, come on! No. I would love to get him in a Discord and interview him or something like that. It would be amazing. But there is a lot of things like to ask about, because it's been a while since I've actually watched his content. So I don't even know if the gorilla's still there. I don't even know if he uses the big news and sad news things still. I don't know. I'd have to go back and watch some more of his stuff. But the problem is like, I don't want his content to affect this content here, because it will. I'm one of those people who if I hear something, I'll emulate it. So I've worked really hard to make this podcast my own thing, even though I reference things a lot, like his sad news and like Wicked Shrapnel stuff and like other people's stuff. It is really 100% me, though. A few references here and there, it's funny, but I don't want to like accidentally steal the way he does things. So that's why I usually try and keep away from people with similar content. I know this is a podcast, and I'm doing it alone, and I'm on my own, just like Donkey before he met Shrek. But yeah, I just thought I might as well bring that up to you guys. I don't want to spend too much time on it, but it is probably the biggest thing that happened to me this past week. And I hope you guys appreciate me bringing this to your attention. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, just a cool experience. It made me smile. Having a rough time on Modern Warfare. I looked down, made me smile to see ChampChong adding me or mentioning me. I hate mentioning me, and just was a nice exchange. Yeah, so cool beans. All right, moving on. We're gonna start with some news. All right, so the publisher of Gleamlight has responded to accusations of the game being a Hollow Knight ripoff. Now, before I get into this article, this is the first time that I'm going to be watching it, and I'm going to watch it with you guys. So let's see if this really does look like Hollow Knight. The game's called Gleamlight, which sounds similar already. Hollow Knight, Gleamlight. Hollow Knight, Gleamlight. Uh-oh. Let's see. Alright, so it's got kind of that same like aesthetic of but it's a little bit different. Like diamonds or rocks. There's a little bit of wood and gears. Like swirling lights. So he's facing like mechanical bosses. It's like a little dude with a red hat and a coat and a cape. He's facing like these mechanical guys with red shards on them. He's breaking through shard walls. That kind of looks like a Ben 10 guy. He's meeting someone who looks exactly like him but dark, and he got stabbed by him and died maybe. And now he's back. It's coming early 2020. So I can definitely see where people are coming from on that. Like, it's not that I can't. It looks like a very similar style to the game. Of course, just like Hollow Knight, it has basic moveset. It has a character who is wearing a cape. You know, I think the platforms and stuff like that, even though they look different, I think that they really the art style and everything like that looks really close to Hollow Knight too. But people went online and they're calling it a ripoff and that they're copying Hollow Knight and blah, blah, blah. And so Polygon reached out to the game's publisher, who is D3, and they asked the developer if they were aware of the Hollow Knight controversy. And they respond by saying this: Gleamlight is still in development and is not final at this moment. The dev team is aware of Hollow Knight, but the game has nothing to do with that title. Daiko, who is a developer for the game, says the aesthetic in particular has been influenced by stained glass artistry. So it's not like rocks. It's more like stained glass. Yeah, this comes about really close to that Enchanted Portals controversy where they were compared to Cuphead. And that one was a lot closer than this one, I think. Of course, we haven't seen a lot of the gameplay, but if you compare the two teaser trailers from Hollow Knight and this game, it does feel very similar in the way of combat, platforms, overall look and aesthetic. And, of course, the enemies, it doesn't look like there's any really wimpy enemies like in Hollow Knight, but the bigger enemies kind of have some similarities in them. So we'll see what happens with this in the future. It's a cool concept with the stained glass and stuff like that, and I don't think it's that big of a deal, that they're taking some elements from Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight was a huge success, and the fact that it's been this long now that they've got a quote unquote copycat is actually surprising to me. So we'll see what happens with this story in the future. But for now, you can actually watch the trailer on D3 Publisher's YouTube channel. It's called D3 Publisher, all one word. And you can check it out yourself if you want to, if you didn't, or if you're not watching the video version of the podcast. And let's move on. All right, so the latest patch for Civilization 6 on the Switch has resolved the victory crashes. So if you don't recall from an episode a few weeks ago, I talked about how Civilization 6, when you go to win the game, if you're not at war with the enemy, the game will crash. Well, Civilization 6's developer has come out and put in a patch, which is available for the Switch version, which will allow you to load up your existing saves and win the game without crashes and without having to declare war on the problem civilization. This also is provided that you don't load up an old one and try to claim a cultural victory. Fortunately, there are no issues with new saved games. Okay, that puts a little bit of a monkey wrench into it. So you kind of have to restart a game if I don't know. Let's see. People on Civilization subreddit has come out, and here's a full explanation from some of the users. So one person says, fellow Nintendo Switch players, there's a new patch today, and it appears to have fixed the major crash on victory problem. Since I noticed the problem, I've been hoarding save files one turn until victory. And with the new patch, I've been loading them up one by one, and 3 so far have successfully finished the game. I had another problem where the Hall of Fame would randomly disappear. Haven't been able to fully investigate that yet. Hopefully, it stopped vanishing as well. He came back and edited his post saying domination, religious, science victories are all working normally now with the saves. I had a waiting turn before victory. Cultural victories, however, are not. Had cultural victories ready for Congo, Egypt, and Persia, but none of them worked. Games continue as normal despite having more than enough foreign tourists for victories to trigger. Can't tell if it's only a previous save or a cultural victory won't work for new games either. We'll find out soon, I guess, since cultural is my favorite victory method. He also says, edit number 2, happy to report that I just finished a new quick game where I got a cultural victory with China, with no issues. So it appears it just affects cultural victories on old saves. So that kind of clears it up a little bit, especially for me. So if cultural victories on old saves crash, but everything else was fine, so he had to start a new game with cultural victory. So make sure you don't do that. So yeah, there you go. Have fun with Civilization again. I know it's not the most optimal way to play it, but it's okay. It's not bad. I haven't exactly played it a lot myself, but I have heard a good amount of complaints about the version. And if you want to, you can check it out, but I suggest getting it on PC anyways. It's much more fluid and graphically better on the PC. Try using a controller on the PlayStation 4 to play Civilization. You'll go insane. Anyways, let's move on to Batman. The Telltale series is getting a noir-style visual makeover, and it's coming to the Switch, and I believe it's coming to other platforms as well. So Batman, the Telltale series. It's receiving a noir-style visual makeover and graphical upgrade, and is expected to release on the Switch and other multiple platforms like PlayStation, Xbox soon. This release, known as the Telltale Batman Shadows Edition, will be available for $30. And if you want to, the DLC will set you back $5 each. Here's what the CEO of Telltale had to say about the release and the deal that was stuck with Athlon. We're excited to be able to build and continue the legacy of an iconic Telltale Games franchise by launching the Telltale Batman Shadow Edition today. This is just the beginning in a much more expansive plan to build on our catalog of Telltale titles, which we hope to discuss in further detail in the coming months. So I'm wondering if this game has both the Telltale series, 1 and 2, or if it's just 1. Because if it's just 1, then that's not a good deal. But if it's both, then that's a pretty good deal. Also, I didn't get to play Season 2. I have it in my Steam library. So I might just wait for this version to come out. This kind of seems similar to what Skybound Games did with The Walking Dead, where they redid the whole series to be in the comic book style, and they re-released it. I do hope that they're not going to go back through their whole catalog and re-release games. That just seems shady to me. They already did it 5 sometimes, the Walking Dead series. We don't need another re-release of all these games again. I mean, this is nice for Batman fans, but this could also just be an update, you know? I guess if you want to purchase it separately, it's $5 for the DLC. So maybe I'll purchase it, maybe I won't. It seems like this should be like a free update. It's just a color palette change pretty much. I don't know. It kind of looks like the Arkham City version of the game. It's like all only black, white, and red with a little bit of green for Joker's eyes and stuff like that, and Bane's Venom. So it's not wholeheartedly something entirely new, but it's not something bad either, so whatever. All right, I forgot to mention this during my 2019 Game Awards podcast that was on Sunday, so if you want to, you can go back and watch that before you get here. But the sharks are eating people in the game called Man-Eater, which is coming to the Switch, the PlayStation, Xbox in 2020, May 22nd, 2020. Wow. So yeah, they announced, Tripwire Interactive announced the new Man-Eater game. In the trailer, they said that humans kill 500... Wait, what did they say? Did they say 500 million sharks are killed by humans each year, and only 5 humans could come to the big toothy fish? Which is, of course, not real, but it is still a problem, people killing sharks. So I see what they're doing here with this game. But they're kind of playing on that idea. So the game is going to be a single-player action RPG where you'll be terrorizing the waters of the Gulf Coast, chomping on whatever or whomever you come across as you evolve constantly into a more efficient killer. From the trailer, which is available on Tripwire Interactive's YouTube channel, just Tripwire Interactive on YouTube, you can see that it's pretty violent, and Samuel L. Jackson would be pretty proud of the way that this shark goes around eating people, or maybe not. He was eaten by that one. But yeah, it was a pretty nice trailer. It looks fun. I don't know if it looks wholeheartedly good. You know, the graphics aren't amazing, and maybe the gameplay is going to be a little bit repetitive or boring after a while, but I think I'm going to pick this one up and see what all the fuss is about, right? I love not shark games, but I've always loved, sharks. So this is one thing that from my childhood that I will be living. Although I was really afraid of Jaws when I was a kid. The original Jaws. That's one of those movies that, not good to watch when you're a kid, but as you're an adult, you're like, oh, this is pretty fake, but groundbreaking at the time. So, man-eater. He's a man-eater. Or it's she. This shark's a man-eater. Coming the 22nd of May, 2020. Check it out if you want. All right, we got some Fortnite news. Star Wars. New Star Wars outfits are coming to Fortnite in the item shop. So there's a new collaboration between Fortnite and Star Wars. It's continuing now. The Stormtrooper outfit was released back in November, and now Epic Games is adding 3 more Star Wars skins to the game, this time based on the upcoming movie release, The Rise of Skywalker. The new 3 outfits are based on Rey, Finn, and a new Sith Trooper. All of them are available from the in-game shop now. Fortnite came on Twitter at Fortnite Game and said, they're back and in greater numbers. Get the Rey, Finn, and Sith Trooper outfits in the item shop. Meow. Also, if you don't recall from the Game Awards, Fortnite came on stage and said, hey, get the free TIE Whisper Glider that night. So if you want to, you can still go out and get that as well. Oh, there was some kind of event on the 14th. So maybe it's not available anymore. I apologize. I did not read that right. So yeah, apparently there's an event you had to go to, which you would get the TIE Whisperer for free. You probably can purchase it now if you want to. So yeah, also on that same day, on the 14th of December, a new Star Wars Rise of Skywalker teaser trailer premiered in the game, and it was an exclusive scene. The exclusive scene was shown with an appearance from the movie's director, J.J. Abrams. So kind of cool for the people who love Fortnite and went to that. Let me know if you went to that. Let me know what it was. It doesn't say anything here, but you can now download or buy these 3 skins if you want to. No pricing, of course, because they want you to go into Fortnite to do that. I don't know. Whatever. All right. Very, very nice, I suppose. All right. So the makers of Overcooked are coming out with a new game called Cannibal Cuisine. That's right. Lots of murder, lots of cooking, a little bit of salt. So on Rocket Vulture's YouTube channel, which only has 12 subscribers, oh Jesus, they came out with the Cannibal Cuisine trailer. It showed off kind of the some gameplay elements. You pretty much hunt down tourists on your island, you cook them up, and you feed them to a big black blob with feathers on it and tusks and a big, huge mouth. Just like Overcooked, you're going to cook in different locations. There's going to be different things you'll kill and cook, and this is definitely not a game for vegans. It looks like there's also platforming sections and stuff like that, just different areas to cook in, some 4-player elements as well. In the official blog post, they came out and said free-range organic food, mostly. The recipes for success are varied. Find delicious fruits and vegetables and combine them with freshly chopped and cooked tourists for a truly divine delicacy fit for the god Huchubu. Of course, the tourists might not offer themselves up freely, the heathens, so you'll need them to master your arcade reflexes, voodoo magic, and fire breathing, useful for baking as well, to persuade them without getting KO'd. Claim your Michelin stars without the 1 to 4 players. Ready, steady, cook your way through a full campaign alone or without the 4 chefs, or challenge each other to cooking battles in PvP. With so many chefs in the kitchen, chaos is sure to follow. Outsmart rival cannibals while chasing tourists, or work together as a crew to serve up the most epic of mealtimes to your god. Well done, not Overcooked. Developing a taste for cooking by games such as Overcooked inspired Rocket Vulture to create their own unique cuisine, a cannibalistic one. A spicy homage to Overcooked can be seen in the trailer to show their gratitude. So there you go. Interesting concept. Definitely inspired by Overcooked. So if you want to, you can check out the game when it comes out in 2020. Early 2020. Wishlist it now on Switch, Steam. And it doesn't look like it's coming to other consoles, so just Switch and Steam. Wow, okay. Well, there you go. Does that pique your interest? Are you grumbling with hunger now? I hope not. All right, speaking of hunger, Sniper Elite spin-off Zombie Army Trilogy is going to come onto the Switch next year, just before the release of the next Nazi Zombie Army game. So possibly that means the new game is coming to the Switch as well. Who knows? So the UK developer and publisher Rebellion has revealed that it's bringing the Zombie Army Trilogy to the Nintendo Switch in 2020. The game, which originally launched on all the consoles back in 2015, has players taking out frenzied undead zombies and, of course, Zombie Hitler. Across 3 story campaigns and an unforgiving horde mode, the game features some similarities to the Sniper Elite franchise, while having more of an action-focused feel to it, which can be played either alone or with up to 4 players. The Switch version of the game will come with everything previously released on other consoles, as well as 2 to 4 player local wireless play, motion controls, Pro Controller and HD Rumble support, and even support for Switch's friend invite system. Here's what they said in a PR release, or press release. In the dying flames of World War II, Hitler has unleashed one final unholy gamble, a legion of undead super soldiers that threatens to overwhelm the whole of Europe. Take on unrelenting hordes of harrowing enemies, from zombie soldiers to armored skeletons, and fire demons to chainsaw-wielding elites, before facing the demonic dictator himself. There's no specific release date yet, but I'm guessing it's going to be planned to launch in the first half of next year, before the next game comes, which I forget what time frame that was. But yeah, good news for the people of this Nintendo Switch. It's a very, very fun trilogy, very fun game. I bought all 3 of them separately. I have both 1 and 2, and then I have the trilogy, because the third game only came in the trilogy. But the nice thing was, when it originally came out on Steam, the third game, if you had both the other games in your library, it would like slash out like 50% of the price for the new game. And I was like, oh, that's sweet. So there you go, Sniper Elite, the Sniper Elite Zombie Army Trilogy coming to the Switch next year. Pretty cool, pretty cool. All right, if you don't recall, 2 Point Hospital was indefinitely delayed, but now it seems that we got another launch date, which is going to be coming in February, with 2 expansions included in the bundle. The new trailer was released on the 2 Point Hospital YouTube channel, and it just showed that the game was finally about ready in February. So on the 25th of February 2020, you'll be able to get the 2 Point Hospital simulation game on the Switch, PlayStation, and Xbox. So in a press release from Sega, they said, build your epic healthcare empire in an atypical world of 2 Point country by customizing your hospital's researching unusual illness, curing patients, and training staff. At launch, 2 Point Hospitals on console comes with the first 2 critically acclaimed expansions, Bigfoot and Pebblery Island, which gives players a total of 21 regions to explore. To ensure the best gameplay experience across all platforms, 2 Point Studios have rebuilt the PC control scheme for console gaming, which guarantees smooth play for both on-the-go and couch gaming. Players can now pre-order the game on other platforms, but the Switch pre-orders are also expected to go live on the eShop, in quotations, soon. 2 Point Hospital, kind of an interesting little funny game. It's a simulation game, of course, where you're just the boss of a hospital. You build new areas. You tell them to research things, etc., etc. It's addictive gameplay. I'll give it that, but not really my type of thing. I don't really like these kind of games, so I'm going to steer clear of it. And especially a console edition of a game like this just doesn't seem very feasible. But if it's your only way of getting it, I'm guessing it's a fair enough get. So if you want to, you can check this out the 25th of February, which is after Valentine's Day. Woo! We did it, boys! Speaking of the guy coming out on Valentine's Day, we got some sad news. What the fuck? Hey, that's a ChampChong reference. The studio behind the Sonic movie redesign has been shut down. The email sent them the bad news. After the huge backlash Paramount Pictures received following the reveal of the Sonic the Hedgehog movie, steps were taken to redesign the lead character. And as you know, the redesign has gone down with fans loving the new style of Sonic. Now, the cringiness in the trailer, not so much. Maybe now it's even less likely that I'll go see it. Seeing the weird Sonic, now that would have been funny. Seeing this Sonic, this cool looking Sonic doing all this cringy stuff, I don't know, guys. That's just one ferret's opinion, though. Please. But anyways, it would appear that the studio responsible for the welcome change is being shut down. The studio in question is Moving Picture Company's Vancouver office, a division which reportedly housed more than 800 artists during its peak several years ago, and which is responsible for the redesign's animation. The news comes from a CBC report who claims to have obtained an email sent to staff members announcing the closure. According to CBC, this email cited increasing external market pressures in Vancouver as a factor, and said that the decision has not been taken lightly. It is not currently known how many people will be left out of work thanks to the closure, and it will appear that the company's other studios, such as London HQ Montreal, London and Los Angeles offices, are still up and running and safe. Kind of sucks for them, because they obviously had to spend a lot of time redesigning Sonic for this game. As you know, the original design of Sonic was pretty bad, and redoing all that stuff in the movie, that's gotta take days, months to redesign. So this is just, I guess this officially squashes that theory that they did the original, kind of weird looking Sonic, more realistic looking Sonic, I guess, at the first place. I guess that kind of squashes that theory. I mean, why would they be shutting down the studio if they told them to do that and then redesign the character for the actual movie? I really do hope that they release like a Blu-ray special edition that has both different versions on it, because obviously they were pretty far with the original Sonic design. I don't know. So kind of sad news right there, but let's also get to some big news for the blue speedster himself. First Four Figures has announced a Sonic the Hedgehog statue. There's 2 different versions, and the pre-orders are going live soon. So, Sonic the Hedgehog statue. It's coming for First Four Figures. The 11-inch PVC statue is estimated to be released in the second quarter of next year, and it's going to be available with 2 different editions, a standard edition and an exclusive edition. If you place an order with the exclusive edition before the 30th of December, you'll have access to F4F's, which is First Four Figures, early bird discount promotion. This particular statue is limited to 5,000 pieces, so pre-order it while you can. The standard edition can be found at your local retailers within the U.S. when it releases. So the exclusive edition, which is $114.99, but the early buyers can get it for $100. It has Sonic the Hedgehog, a 11-inch statue, a premium deluxe box exclusive to First Four Figures, an adjustable checkpoint with LED function, a limited numbered logo base, a collector's box, and an authentication card. This product size is about 10.5 inches. Its width is about 8 inches. The depth is 7.5 inches, and the weight is about 0.642 kilograms. This is a really cool thing. There's 3 different angles that the checkpoint can go to, and it lights up. So that's pretty cool. And the figure is Sonic running past the checkpoint, and of course it looks like it's spinning around in circles, because that's what happens in the game. What's the other edition? So Sonic the Hedgehog standard edition is about $84.99. It comes with the Sonic the Hedgehog 11-inch statue, an adjustable checkpoint with LED function, the collector's box, and the authentication card. So it's just missing a few things in there, and it seems like it's just a little bit smaller. So it's about 10.2 inches in height. Its width is 6, its depth is 6, and the weight is about 0.536 kilograms. So not too bad. It looks pretty cool. If you're a fan of Sonic, this is something that you might want to sniff out, and maybe tell your parents to sniff out that pre-order for Christmas, if you want. All right, Birdo is joining Mario Kart Tour's holiday event as a playable character. In a picture that was released by Nintendo, you can see Birdo all the way in the back on her cart with her arms stretched out in a T-pose, almost tempting Yoshi to come over and give her a little smoochie. So yeah, the holiday tour is due to kick off 10 p.m. Pacific time on the 17th of December, which is today, Tuesday, the 17th of December, which is about 6 a.m. GMT the following morning. In the promotional image, you can see Yoshi, who's in a reindeer outfit, Pauline, who is in a New Year's Eve outfit or New Year's Day outfit, and you can just make out Birdo on the left-hand side, all the way in the background, having fun. Also, you can see that both Pauline and Yoshi have special carts, and Yoshi has a specialer cart, I would say, with the Santa sleigh and the package on the back. And then Pauline's cart is just like a regular silver car with the 2020 LED light on the top. So yeah, there you go. 3 new things being added to Mario Kart Tour soon. I'm guessing you're going to get all this stuff in the pipe system, so be ready to spend some money. Okay, Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm 4 Road to Boruto announced for Nintendo's Switch. They've won the longest name awards. Congratulations. I don't have my sound effects plugged in. I apologize, but congratulations to them. The longest name award has been taken from the Lego franchise and given to Naruto. Oh my goodness. But anyways, Bandai Namco Europe has announced that Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm 4 Road to Boruto is making its way to the Nintendo Switch next year. It promises to bring all of the over-the-top fights and anime-style graphics available on other platforms, and to include all the content from the previous iterations of the game, including additional characters, extra scenarios, previously exclusive pre-order content, and the Road to Boruto expansion and downloadable content. Launching alongside the new Switch version, the game will also receive 2 new characters from Boruto, Kinshiki and Momoshi. They're set to launch as DLC on the same day that the Switch version arrives, but Switch players will receive those characters for free, which is pretty cool for them. The game is going to be available on the 24th of April, 2020. If you want to, you can check that out. Fighting game, I believe it's a 4D fighting game, if I'm not mistaken. Let's look at the trailer real quickly. It might show it. It has a full campaign mode, I believe. Yes, it is a 4D fighting game. You can fight in all different directions, kind of like the other games that I've played in the series. Very long name. But hey, it's been a little while since it came out, so I'm guessing the Switch version is going to be the one to get if you want a definitive version of the game and you have a Switch. So there you go. Alright, so you can explore beautifully mystical landscapes in Lumini, coming to Switch in 2020. It's a puzzle and exploration game where you kind of guide like these fish-looking things that are different colors through paths. So, 2 Awesome Studio has revealed that it will be bringing Lumini to Nintendo Switch in early 2020. The game was developed by Netherlands-based studio Steel Bars, a company which had to close its doors back in 2017. In a statement released back then, Steel Bars noted that its fully functional version of the game is ready to be ported for consoles, leaving the door open for another studio to make the game to come to other places. 2 Awesome Studio has done just that with its new release on the Switch, the PS4, and the Xbox One. And in the press release, it did a little description of the game. In Lumini, the player takes control of a swarm of titular creatures, an ancient race that has been missing for thousands of years, and grow, evolve, and keep the swarm safe during their challenging, and perilous journey. Sail your Lumini through beautiful, time-worn landscapes, encounter mystical and bewildering creatures, and solve ancient puzzles to discover why the Lumini vanished, while trying to restore peace and harmony to their home planet. Lumini key features: a surprising and mysterious story about a Lumini and their home world. Experience a flow-based game with controls and gameplay affordable for all types of players. I think that's the wrong wording there. Solve puzzles dividing your Lumini swarm and controlling both groups simultaneously. Add unique species to your swarm with new abilities. The audio score is immersive and fully adaptive. So there you go. Coming in 2020. If you want to check that out, you can. The YouTube channel, 2 Awesome Studio, all one word, and the number 2, released the YouTube video with the announcement. So if you want to, you can check that out. Alright, moving into some PlayStation news. The Darwin Project, which is a battle royale game, is coming to the PS4 next month. This game was released on PC in beta mode this year, last year, one of these years. I played a little bit of it. The fun mode in it is where you can kind of be the all-seeing eye, to say. You can place things on the field, you can help players out, you can do commentary, and you can also be the one who decides which areas get closed off. The game's a little bit different from a normal Battle Royale game because each section can be blown up at different times, so it's not like a circle that closes smaller and smaller. So there's like different like octagon areas that get destroyed, and you can't go to those areas. The game is pretty basic too. You have an axe and a bow and arrow, and you have to craft stuff on the go, which is a nice little addition as well. And then also you can find these like technology crates and stuff like that to give you the best weapons. And this one isn't very well known, but the Darwin Project is going to come to the PlayStation 4 next month with a full 1.0 release. It's also coming onto the Xbox One as well. A specific date in January has not been revealed yet, but it's coming nonetheless. Darwin Project pits 10 players against one another with various types of melee and ranged combat to be utilized. And there's also the show director, who I was talking about, who can influence the match by triggering numerous events and life-threatening invasions as well. It's basically a Battle Royale game show, and it's pretty fun. Not too bad. It's completely free to play as well, and the full PS4 release will feature a new class system determined by pieces of gear. Jet wings allow players to take to the skies, a grapple gauntlet does exactly what that suggests, and a headhunter drone acts as the companion, which tracks targets. So if you want to, it is free to play, and it's looking to kind of break the mold, break out of the Battle Royale kind of underground, and hopefully people will play this one. It is actually one that I would recommend if you're going to play a Battle Royale. This one's pretty fun. Like I said, it's a little bit more basic. There's no guns or anything like that, but there is a pretty high skill level that is to be had with this. And being the announcer is always fun. Alright, so Horizon Zero Dawn, Uncharted: The Lost Legacy, and more games are coming to the PlayStation Now service in January. New year, new games. Sony has announced its plans for PlayStation Now. And if you forgot that this month, God of War, Uncharted 4, and Grand Theft Auto 5 were the games, and now those games are going to be removed from the PlayStation Now service on the 2nd of January, and the new games are coming that same, that day. So joining PS Now at the start of 2020 is going to be Horizon Zero Dawn, Uncharted: The Lost Legacy, and Overcooked 2. The first two games, Uncharted and Horizon Zero Dawn, are going to be available until the 7th of April, and the Overcooked 2 is going to be a permanent addition to the service. That's not all that's happening with PlayStation Now, though. There's also this month's recent additions, which are PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, Wolfenstein: The Old Blood, and F1 2019. These games are going to be available until the 2nd of March 2020, while Persona 5 and Middle-earth: Shadow of War is going to be available until around February. So the schedule is a little bit confusing, but it's nice to see that these games are coming for free next month. Horizon Zero Dawn, of course, was almost Game of the year it came out. And I haven't gone back and played through it again. I tried doing the hardest difficulty playthrough, which they added as DLC, or a free update, I apologize. I got the platinum for the game. I just didn't feel like going through it again. I never played the DLC or anything like that. But hey, maybe I'll go back and do it. And also The Lost Legacy, not my favorite Uncharted game, but not the worst. And then Overcooked 2, of course, I recommend to anyone. It's a great game. I think it was free during PlayStation Plus this last year. I forget what month it was, though. But it's a great game, great co-op game, good game to play with kids. A little bit challenging at times, but overall, very, very fun. So there you go. All right, World War Z. The new Horde mode update is out now on the PlayStation 4. Thanks to Nick, a.k.a. Greedy Waffle, for bringing this one to my attention. So yeah, the time has come for Saber Interactive to do another update to World War Z. There's lots of free DLC that has been put out for this game since its launch back in early 2019, and players can look forward to more content as the new update for the game is released today. The new update has added a widely requested Horde Mode Z to the lineup of offerings. Your skills will be put to the test against increasingly difficult waves of zombies, with useful resources scattered across the map being the only way of getting the upper hand on the undead horde. You'll be able to spend earned points on weapons, medkits, and upgrades to your arsenal to better your chances of survival, with extra points to get for completing side objectives in particular waves. It certainly sounds like a real deal, but there's more. Horde mode comes packaged with an entirely new zombie type named the Bomber. With a bomb strapped to his chest, you'll need to strategically target the limbs before disarming the bomb at close range. Paid DLC also offers the most hardcore fans new weapon variants for purchase, but of course they're just cosmetic, so they're not that important. I believe this one also comes with a new character. This update does not have a new story mode, but the Horde mode sounds freaking awesome. Once again, I will say this as many times as I talk about this game, I have not gotten back to it since the beginning of the year. I do not know why. It's just not been on my mind. And every time we go to play it, there's an update for it, and we play something else instead. So I'm really hoping that we can get back to this game soon, because I loved the game when it first came out. The reason I didn't put it on my top 10 list is because I played it like twice. I didn't play it enough. And when it first came out, there really wasn't a lot of content, but now there's so much content packaged with it. Depending on how much I play it throughout next year, it could possibly show up on next year's list, but for now, it's not on the list. But I will say it is recommended. If you love Horde mode games, if you love zombie games, this one is definitely way better than a movie, and it's way better, or it is the experience like a Left 4 Dead junkie would love to have, because it's pretty much Left 4 Dead in third person. So if you want to, you can check that out, which is available to be downloaded now. So now there's a new back button attachment that will turn your DualShock 4 controller into a PS4 Pro controller. So Sony has announced coming out is a new add-on for your PlayStation 4 controller, which will give you 2 extra buttons that are programmable. The paddle-style inputs can be programmed to be any command on the DualShock 4 controller and can grant you faster or easier access. So there's a big round button that you can program the 2 side buttons on the attachment, and underneath it is an audio output if you need that as well. So you can program to be any of the buttons on the controller, including R3 and the share button. The gadget connects to your PS4 controller via the headphone jack on the bottom of it, and the 2 paddles will sit along the backside of the controller just like the Pro controller options. It's a pretty tight design for an add-on like this, and it's going to cost you about $30, and it's going to be released in early 2020, which could possibly be the 23rd of January in North America and the 14th of February in Europe. Is this getting us ready for the PS5 controller? Maybe. I don't know. I don't think so, but maybe. Possibly. I don't know. This seems like a really small thing that they could have put into like a state of play announcement, but instead they kind of gave its own thing. To me personally, I don't know if I would actually use buttons like that. I've gamed without buttons under my controller since the N64 era, and to be honest with you, it would probably just mess me up more. But for the hardcore, who doesn't have the budget to get a PS4 Pro controller, this is how you can turn one into one, or a regular controller into one. Although, you should just, if you're going to spend $30 on an attachment and $60 on the controller, you might as well just buy a Pro controller. But interesting events anyways. Alright, big news, everyone. Untitled Goose Game is out today on the PlayStation 4, and there's a free dynamic theme that you can download to celebrate. Pretty fucking cool. So yeah, Untitled Goose Game, they revealed the PS4 trophy list a few weeks ago, and then they finally revealed that it was going to be coming out today, the 17th of December, and now it's officially out, and hey, surprise, surprise, it's a free theme that everyone can download. You don't have to purchase the game in order to get it. So yeah, the free dynamic theme shows the goose waddling around his items that he's stolen from people. There's no like honking or anything like that, and there's just ambient birds chirping in the background. But it's a very fun and playful theme. It's free, it's peaceful, and it's a very funny little theme. It's a PS4 theme. So if you want to, you can download that now, and you can also download the game, which is actually $5 off today. I believe it's $5 off until the weekend. So if you want to, you can download it for the PlayStation 4. If you're a trophy hunter, definitely look into getting this one, because the trophy list is pretty straightforward, and it's pretty doable, I do believe. I'm thinking of downloading it on the PlayStation 4. I've already beaten it on Switch, so I don't need to download it on PlayStation 4, but I kind of need to download it on PlayStation 4, don't I? If you want to know what rank Untitled Goose Game was on my top 10 list, you can watch that episode of the podcast. It was the last episode, my top 10 games of 2019. Make sure you check that out if you want to. Not going to force you. All right, Overcooked 2. We just got finished talking about it for the PlayStation Now service, but there's a new update that's a free update available for the PlayStation 4 called Winter Wonderland. So this is actually adding another DLC, which is free from the developer Ghost Town Games, and they're cooking all kinds of treats up for the end of 2019, with both premium and free content, which is available now, Winter Wonderland. It is a celebration of 2019 DLC, which means it combines elements from all of the various updates and rollouts in the Christmas-themed package. In 5 wintry kitchens, you'll be making hot chocolate, pancakes, roast dinners, Christmas puddings, and mince pies, while balancing various cooking methods. There's a new festive enemies to fend off in Horde mode, and you can unlock 2 new characters, the Reindeer Chef and the Present Head Chef. So yeah, this new content is free of charge, so make sure you download that as soon as you possibly can. The levels look pretty weird and wacky. There's one with like an ice river flowing, and you have to kind of cannon yourself out of a cannon. You have to shoot yourself out of a cannon to get to the other side, stuff like that. Really interesting. Overcooked 2 is a really fun game, challenging game. It's a good co-op game. I've already said everything I need to say about it. If you want to, please check it out. And there you go. Winter Update is now available now. Alright, so Ghost of Tsushima's open world will focus on player freedom. Kind of like Red Dead 2, I would say. So yeah, who was it? Sucker Punch. Ghost of Tsushima by Sucker Punch. It's going to be coming out next year, as we know. It's a Seattle-based developer, and they're going to diminish the importance of the staple system, giving you the freedom to discover the world on your own. They came out and said that we really want you to have the choice of, hey, that cool bamboo forest over there, I really want to check it out. I want to head in that direction and see what it is. Art director Jason Connell said, there's no waypoint. There's nothing that says, go here and look at the bamboo forest. It's unclear from this quote whether the title will remove waypoints entirely, but it definitely sounds like the developer wants to give you the kind of freedom that you have in Red Dead 2. It's perhaps worth mentioning that the information is all taken from a 2017 interview, so the details could have changed, but judging by the title's latest trailer, there's no doubt that we want to get lost in this historical world. Yes, I do agree. Push Square, thank you for that lovely comment. So yeah, it's supposed to be releasing Q3 of 2020, which is right before the PlayStation 5's holiday release. So like I said last time in the podcast, it's definitely the last hurrah for the PlayStation 4, and it probably will be playable, which it's going to be playable on the PlayStation 5, guaranteed. Looks interesting, sounds interesting. I don't know. I love my waypoints, but I do enjoy the freedom of an open world, like Outer Worlds and stuff like that, so I'll definitely be checking this one out when it comes out, and this is interesting news for sure. Are you guys excited for Ghost of Tsushima? Let me know in the comments below. The cover art for Ghost of Tsushima has also been revealed. It looks pretty cool. If you want to, you can check that out on PlayStation's blog as well. Alright, speaking of Red Dead, great segue, Yemmy. Red Dead 2 is getting a big PS4 update that is going to add a lot of single-player content and a photo mode. So yeah, Red Dead Redemption 2, you're going to be able to dive into the game again with a new free update. The update is bringing you story mode bounty hunter missions, where you'll track down wanted criminal Herman Zizendorf, Camille de Millemont, and Bart Kavanagh. The story mode gang hideouts. Take on a deadly Del Lobos gang at Gaptooth Breach and Solomon's Folly. Story mode treasure maps, landmarks of riches, and the elemental trail. To the ends of the earth story mode mission. Weapons added to story mode: the M1899 pistol, the Evans repeater, the High Roller revolver, and the Lamat revolver. Horses added to story mode: Warped, Bridal Arabian, Few Spot Appaloosa, Perlino Andalusian, and the Red Chestnut Arabian. Oh, an easy one, thank you. Hidden trinkets are added to story mode: Hawk Talon, Cat Eye, Shark Tooth, and Turtle Shell, and Crow Beak. So that's all you're getting in the free update. So a lot of story mode stuff, and a little bit of weapons, a little bit of horses. Not too bad. Have you played Red Dead 2 yet? I have not gotten through it yet. So I'll get back to you on that one. But if you are playing Red Dead 2, here's some stuff to get you back into the single player. Alright, so the Outer Worlds is going to have story DLC, and it's been confirmed there's going to be more details in 2020. That's right, fans of Outer Worlds, rejoice! Woo! The new DLC is going to be coming in 2020, and it's been confirmed by Obsidian Entertainment. So the DLC for the game has been long rumored, but we have not gotten concrete confirmation until now. The aforementioned blog post reads, "To all those who voted for us in the Game Awards, you are all fantastic, and we are so grateful for your support. The reception to the Outer Worlds has been unbelievable to see, and even just being nominated means a lot. However, the journey isn't over yet, as we are excited to announce that we will be expanding the story through DLC next year. Details will be made available at a later date." So yeah, in 2020, we'll be probably seeing some DLC, maybe a new planet to explore, maybe some new missions, maybe a new sidekick, who knows. I'm guessing it's going to be a lot like the Mass Effect DLC, where The DLC comes with a new character and a new story mode and stuff like that. Changes to the original story to fit that character. Lots of cool stuff. Hopefully it's not like the Prothean DLC for Mass Effect 3 that came out the same day, which added an entirely new character who was the most important character in the game, pretty much. Nothing like that, hopefully. But I loved Outer Worlds. If you want to know, and just like the last game, if you want to know where the Outer Worlds was in my top 10 games list, make sure you check out that episode because I'm not going to spoil it. Nope, no spoilers here. But this is cool news for me and other people who are fans of the Outer Worlds. All right, so the procedurally generated maritime adventure game called Sail Forth moors up on PS4 in 2020. Ooh. So the game is looking like a poor man's Black Flag, but it's kind of cool. It's got like a cartoony style to it. The graphics are like cel-shaded, kinda. It has a beautiful aesthetic. The water looks pretty cool. And you pretty much go through this game like Black Flag, and you upgrade your ship, and you can turn it into a pirate wartime ship. That's right, you can attack other pirates. Pirates can attack you. Equip yourself with cannons and with privateers. Woo! Lots of fun to be had. It looks like a forever game. There's really no end in sight in this game. Kind of like a sandbox adventure. You can build a fleet and have them follow you around. As you explore and find new equipment, you'll be able to customize your ship and build a fleet to sail alongside you, which will come in handy when you come across pirates. So there's really no on-foot gameplay, so it appears to be solely a nautical adventure, and it looks pretty cool. Sail Forth is coming to PS4, Xbox One, Steam, and Nintendo Switch at some point next year in 2020. If you want to, you can check out the trailer on the Quantum Astrophysicists Guild YouTube channel. Woo! What a name! What a name! All right, guys, we got some Xbox news. What's coming to the Xbox Game Pass for console? In December? All right, let's see. So coming is on the 17th of December, which is today. Untitled Goose Game is free for the Xbox. Well, not really free, but pretty much free for the Xbox Game Pass on console. And then coming later this month on the 19th of December, Life is Strange 2 Episode 5, Pillars of Eternity, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, and in case you missed it, Ticket to Ride, and you'll get the pre-install Gears Tactics on PC today. Oh, geez, okay. Ori and the Will of Wisps and Bleeding Edge you'll also get early access to as well. Pre-install those games on PC as well. Wow, that's pretty cool. Also available, Gears 5 Operation 2 Free-for-All, released on December 11th. Forza Horizon 4 Eliminator Update, which was released on December 12th. Rocket League Frosty Fest event was playable from December 16th till January 6th. Ark Winter Wonderland 4 available from the 17th of December to the January 7th. Overcooked 2 free holiday event is beginning the 17th, which is available for all places. New Xbox Game Pass Quest. Biggest games of 2019, 200 points. Earn any achievement from our biggest games this year. Rage 2, you'll complete 2 achievements in Rage 2 to get 200 points. Subnautica, 200 points. Complete 2 achievements in Subnautica. ID at Xbox, 200 points. Earn 3 achievements in any game in our ID at Xbox game collection. And play something new for 100 points. Earn 1 achievement in a newly released game. Whew, that was a lot, but there you go. Cool beans. Untitled Goose Game. Definitely download that if you have not already. The Game Pass this month is a little bit lacking in my opinion, but 3 of these games are pretty fucking awesome. Untitled Goose Game, The Witcher 3, and of course, Pillars of Eternity. Pretty cool. What's your thoughts on the Xbox Game Pass for this month? There's a lot of games, like, they seem to rotate them out a lot between PC and Xbox, so you're definitely getting your money's worth on these things. Definitely a service that I would subscribe to if I had the Xbox. But, I'm on the PlayStation, so poo-poo on my feet. Don't do that, please. That's disgusting. All right, thank you guys for joining me for this adventure, this YemmyCast. Episode 86, I believe? Maybe 87? I forget. I think it's 87. Don't quote me on that, though. If you want to, you can check out Film Freaks with a Z. The next movie we are reviewing this Friday is The Maze Runner, the first in that trilogy. So if you want to, you can check that out. Also, YemmytheFerret, always coming out sometime in the weeks. New episodes coming out pretty much weekly for that one. It's available on all the audio platforms you want. And don't forget that live streams are happening on Twitch now. YemmytheFerret, twitch.tv, twitch.tv, YemmytheFerret /YemmytheFerret. I'm doing pretty much streams 3 days a week now. Monday, Thursday, possibly Friday, and Saturday. So if you want to, you can check me out on those days live, because I've been doing less editing. So, that's just how it's been in my world. In my world. All right, thank you so much for showing up to this episode of YemmyCast. I appreciate you all. If you want to, you can check me out on my social medias at YemmytheFerret. And if you want to, you can join the Discord, which is in the description of all my YouTube videos. Thank you so much to everyone who participated in the Game of the Year giveaway. Like I said in last episode, no one won the Game of the Year giveaway, so I'll be giving away the Game of the Year during episode 100 live stream of YemmyCast. So make sure you check that out and wait for more information on that. And that's it. That's all the news, guys. Hope to see you in the next episode, or in the next live stream, or wherever. I am YemmytheFerret, and this has been YemmyCast, a video game podcast.